This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, SiriusXM Channel 158's Gil Alexander, along with my little buddy Kelly Bidlin, everybody, on this Monday post-divisional round pre-championship weekend, or championship Sunday, I should say, in the NFL, and the morning of the Natty between Miami and Indiana tonight. Wes Reynolds will join us a little later on to discuss that, as will Adam Burke. How you doing, man? You good?
I'm good.
You're so silent.
Good morning.
You're so quiet.
I'm over here doing a little work.
Oh,
doing a little work.
What are you doing? What are you, little work? What are you doing? Well, you tell us. What are you doing?
Texting to Danny.
What are you texting Danny?
Yeah, just not to take this upcoming graphic because there's something wrong with it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Really want to go inside baseball there.
Inside baseball from the top. It's an honest show is what this is. We will talk about all of the games this weekend in the NFL in depth. Oh my, what a weekend it was. Was not a good one for me in terms of my Houston bet. Certainly not my San Francisco one either. So that wasn't fun.
Pretty good on my end. Could have been better though.
Yeah. What'd you have again?
I was oppo you on the two sides. So Seattle, New England got home.
Nice.
But then I got involved with some props and stuff. You know, props and live betting that it was about a wash.
Were you on New England, really? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good on you. Good on you. And boy, oh boy, the details, which we will get into, as we have an NFC championship between, I think, the two teams that most would say, for most of the year, at least, were considered the best two teams, not only in the NFC, but the NFL. And then in the AFC, well, the two teams that... Look, they got there, right? I'll just leave it at that.
They got there.
No, I'm just gonna say I don't want to make Broncos fans or Patriots fans upset, but I do think that if we're being honest, the way that the AFC shook out this year, you ended up with a team, right, with the third easiest schedule since 1978 per DVOA and the Patriots. The Broncos, who were beating the NFL dregs by 1 or 2 or 3 points all year long, and now they in a year where Mahomes got hurt, where Lamar was all banged up all year long, and the Ravens had their injuries, when the Chargers' offensive line was messed up. Who have I left out? Somebody else.
The Raiders?
No. They don't count.
They were just going AFC West.
Anyway, good on the Patriots, good on the Broncos. They're there. So we have, and one of those two teams is getting to the Super Bowl. And let's just, by the way, let me just say this about last year's NFL quarterback draft class. 1983 is usually considered by NFL historians as the greatest NFL draft class there ever was, led by Hall of Famers John Elway, who got to 5 Super Bowls, won two of them in the twilight of his career, got to 3 of them as maybe the greatest football player there was, but he just didn't have the supporting cast and got crushed by the Niners, Skins, and Giants, not in that order, when he was a young man. But he got to 5 Super Bowls, won 2 of them. And then Dan Marino only got to 1 Super Bowl, never won one, but broke all kinds of records, right? Then there was other quarterbacks. Tony Eason got to a Super Bowl. So Ken O'Brien, Todd Blackledge, they were in there as well. So there's that. But then this class from last year, just through 2 years.
Looking pretty good.
All right? Jayden Daniels, Drake May, and we'll give Bo Nix credit, right? For all 3 of them have gotten to a championship game in their first 2 seasons. And with May and Nix... and this won't be Knicks who'll do it, obviously, this week, which we'll get into, one of them has a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, extremely impressive.
Okay, in 2 years. And Caleb Williams got an overtime away from getting to a championship game, which leaves who? Penix and McCarthy. But in 2 years' time, pacing pretty well last year's quarterback class.
For real.
That's for sure. In case you missed it this morning, the news that set Dave Ross into glee. He wants to point out to everybody, though, that he's not happy when anybody loses their job. But he is fascinated by the NFL coaching carousel. The Bills are moving on from Coach Sean McDermott after their loss in the divisional round of the Broncos, per the insiders, that from Ian Rappaport at Rap Sheet, which means that is the 10th head coaching vacancy that has existed from the end of the season on. Now, 2 have filled, right? Joe Harbaugh. John Harbaugh. What's a Joe? I did a hybrid. John Harbaugh ends up with the Giants. And Kevin Stefanski, we believe, is headed to the Falcons now. Is that official? Can we call that official?
That is official.
That is official. Okay. By the way, in the McDermott firing, Bills GM Brandon Beane will remain and help lead the search for a new coach.
Yeah, that's a little interesting.
That's interesting wording, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you stick around here for that search of the new coach. Isn't there something that happens after the comma of that sentence? After which you will be tostada as well.
I don't think so.
That's such a weird sentence.
But I understand what you're saying, yeah.
He'll remain and help lead the search for a new coach. Well, why would you say that if he either remains for everything or he doesn't?
So the other one, Danny and I were talking about before the show. Where does that leave Joe Brady at?
I don't know.
Is he in the mix for the head coaching job? I think you kind of like him as your OC, but what happened? You can't bring someone else in, and he's probably jumping. I don't really know.
Is Brian Daboll back in the mix in Buffalo?
I don't know. I heard that earlier, too. I can't believe that's true. I cannot believe Brian Daboll's back in the mix. I don't believe that.
Well, only because Allen is familiar with him and they had success.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But, man, would that be a heck of a rehire.
I love the John Harbaugh to the Giants and the Kevin Stefanski to the Falcons, coaches who just had coaching jobs, obviously, in Baltimore and Cleveland, respectively. Those hirings always amuse me because it's sort of like those two franchises are saying to the other two franchises, you guys are idiots, we'll take them, right?
Right.
And that's true of any profession where someone gets hired immediately like that. The 8 remaining jobs that are open: Arizona, Baltimore, Cleveland, Las Vegas, Miami, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and now Buffalo. Wow. 10 out of 32. 2 of which have been filled now.
I respect, the McDermott thing is kind of like the Tomlin thing to me, right? With these teams and franchises that go back so long, and you respect winning there and everything. I get that you have this. I respect that you have the stones, I guess, Gil, to move on. But man, the next question is immediately what's the plan? You had a plan, right? If you're going to move on, there's a plan here, right? And I don't clearly see what it is.
Well, I think you said correctly via text this morning. And I'll paraphrase, what we may or may not have known all along is that if the Buffalo Bills did not get to at least the Super Bowl, Sean McDermott was done.
That's sure what this feels like. You had one more shot to make it to the Super Bowl with Josh Allen, and that was all you were getting.
Should we get into the, before we go game by game, I was going to wait for each point in each game to discuss this.
Good news, Sean McDermott, there's plenty of job openings around still,
but
somehow.
I'm glad you bring this up, though.
Yeah.
Because remember, and Joe Fortenbaugh, our buddy over at ESPN, Joe Fortenbaugh put this out as a tweet. I'm sure he was not the only one who was making this point as an Eagles fan, but his point was, tell the truth, if Nick Sirianni got fired today, how many teams would actually even interview him? I'm going to say the same thing about Sean McDermott. Do you think he's like a coveted head coaching commodity?
Interviews would be there. I don't know if it's a good point. I don't know if Stefanski's getting hired by any of these. I don't know if McDermott is.
Sirianni, you mean?
Yeah.
Stefanski already did. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a good point. I think both those guys. I think both those guys would get interviews. I don't know that either of them would get a job.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there, man. I don't know. There's a lot out there.
And listen, all we've seen we do this thing on Megapod called Dumbo of the Week, right? We have a great guy on Twitter who tracks it all for us. Love you for that. And the name is blanking me right now, so forgive me, please. But it's a thing where we just go through the worst coaching decisions of every week. So even all these guys, I don't want to say all these guys, but last week when there was 12 teams playing, 6 nominations for Dumbo of the Week, right? Half the coaches made a really stupid in-game decision. We had 8 coaches this week. I think it was half of them again made really curious from Sean McVay to D'Amico Ryans yesterday. I mean, there was just enough things, even in their roles, right? Even the guys that are secure make really stupid decisions in game. So no one is above reproach at times in this.
Who would you take though? McDermott, Sirianni? You got one that you would prefer over the other? Because I would take McDermott over Sirianni.
I don't know who I would take between them because I don't know that either has shined in any way in terms of. Again, there's the CEO coach, which I think can be underrated, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't really translate to the question that you're asking, which is, okay, who do you, it doesn't, get my juices flowing, where I'm like, oh, I got to have this CEO coach, especially in the case of a guy like Sirianni, just because he's such a petulant guy, it seems like, on the sidelines, right?
That's kind of where I would still go McDermott over him.
But that's what I'm saying. Like a guy like that's why the Harbaugh hiring I was sort of saying is like, well, good for the Giants, you got him. It's like, does that really like make you think you're going to be that much more awesome? I don't know.
No idea. Yep.
Whereas Stefanski can say, well, here I'm on this side of the ball, and this side of the ball has done very well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a commodity, and Ben Johnson was one of those, right? Ben Johnson last week with the sort of the panic in the first half, which he got away with. Again, Bears right in the center of just the most awesome football game. Well, not the most awesome of the weekend, but certainly one of the more awesome finishes yet again. So we'll get in all these. I want to say the 4 teams that were knocked out yesterday, this weekend, talking about the Bills, the Niners, the Texans, and the Bears. Give me the postscript to each of these, of all 4 of these seasons in one sentence.
Oh, man. Bills, what could have been?
Bills, I would say, this was your year. You didn't have Mahomes in front of you.
Yep.
This was your chance.
What could have been,
which
right?
I think Josh Allen's tears in the press conference sort of reflected.
49ers.
49ers, I'll tell you what mine is. You did great, guys. You got further than most people would have assumed you could have with all the injuries.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think a lot of mine. I just keep thinking back to what we said about this team in the summertime, and it mainly all played out. Like it was, we thought they'd still rack up the wins because the schedule was kind of light. It was. We knew they were injured then. They continued to be injured. I think it went about as far as it could.
Texans, you had the best unit maybe of any unit in the NFL this year. Why can't you go far in the playoffs? Well, we could put it on a lot on one man's shoulders yesterday, and then the Bears, dude. From Merrill Hodge saying he ain't special, what a magic carpet ride this was this year. What a glorious season. Even yesterday in defeat, I know it hurts now. But again, if it was the Hail Miriam, again, if that deal was made, hey, look, it's my funeral. I'm going to give the kid, just let the kid know that I'm here still. But you get next season of just miracle after miracle. What a season for the Bears, even in defeat. We'll go through all the games next on A Numbers Game.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on Monday's edition of Money Moves, we have the national championship game, and we've got you covered. Stormy Bonatoni will check in from South Beach. She'll give us the latest on what's going to happen between the Hoosiers and the Hurricanes. And in the National Football League Conference Championship weekend, we get our first look at the AFC and NFC championship games. We'll have best bets for that and more, so don't miss it. It's Money Moves here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, 11 to 1 Pacific, 2 to 4 Eastern. Don't miss it. That's kind of short, 25.6.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
We're getting ready for Big Game 60 with a big deal to match. Save $60 off a VSiN Pro annual subscription when you sign up using promo code ANG.
ANG is in a numbers game.
Become a VSiN Pro annual subscriber. Bet smarter all year long with full access to our daily best bets from VSiN hosted guests, real-time DraftKings and Circa betting splits, AI-powered prop tools and matchup analysis, 24/7 video and full show replays on the VSiN Watch app, plus all our betting guide and expert picks for the Super Bowl and upcoming March Madness. Don't miss out on this big game deal. Visit VSiN.com/subscribe and use promo code ANG to save $60 off a VSiN Pro annual subscription today. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. Hey, Kelly, happy MLK birthday day, by the way. A lot of folks in the casino, I could tell. I was like, oh, it's a holiday. That's right.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. There is a few extra people out there today.
In the words of the King Dream chorus from the early 80s, don't play on the holiday. Work and find a better way. Are you familiar with the King Dream chorus? I make this musical recommendation every year. In the early 80s, something was put together called the King Dream chorus. It was like the R&B We Are the World for Martin Luther King's birthday, which had just been established as a holiday then. And it was Whitney Houston, El DeBarge, Stacey Lattisaw, New Edition, Stephanie Mills, Tina Marie, Lisa, J.T. Taylor from Kool and the Gang, Curtis Blow, Run DMC, the Fat Boys, Houdini, Grandmaster Melly Mel. Anyway, really low budget. It's hilarious because it's like on a high school stage where Whitney gets her own shot, right? And El DeBarge has her own shot. Yeah. But it's awesome. Anyway, there's my musical recommendation.
Check that out.
We get tweets.
I had to do the full turnaround. There's been one guy in the sports book for like a week now.
Oh, this dude right here?
No. He's kind of up by the video poker machines.
Okay.
But he's got the full setup going. Like he's got his Don Best screen up. He's got he's got sheets out. He's got another screen up. So I can't tell if he's a local or if he's just been hanging out for like the whole NFL playoffs.
Maybe he's never left.
I've noticed him every day for the past week.
We get tweet speed in the book. Mortal Capper. Going to need a quick recap from the Bear, Chris Felica, on the AFCON final. Morocco stealing the goalkeeper's towel, assaulting the backup keeper holding the towel, controversial penalty in added time, missed penalty on purpose, ? Truly insane game.
Wow.
I didn't know anything about any of that.
I happened to miss the AFCON final. I don't know about you.
I happened to miss it.
There's a lot going on this weekend. It was on my list, but I missed that one.
You know what I got to stop doing? Staying up till 2:45 in the morning watching the Australian Open.
Yeah, you got a long couple weeks ahead of you.
Lance Schaefer. The football gods instantly smite the Broncos and Bo Nix's ankle after the refs sinned against football, calling PI for one team and not the other in a season-ending game. Lance Schaefer has not stopped tweeting about the injustices he believes the Broncos received in that football game. Ray in Texas. Please tell me how you don't have confidence in your quarterback without telling me you don't have confidence in your quarterback by punting with 3 minutes left in the game with a chance to go to the AFC Championship. Can't pay him big money. He's talking about D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud there. Zach Tuchman. Is it Tuchman or Tuchman? I don't know. Either way. He says, I'm a big Broncos fan. I have a hard time understanding how this line has moved 7 points. No one seems to think Bo Nix is any good when he's playing. All of a sudden he gets injured and people are making it seem like he's Mahomes. It's a good point, by the way, by Zach.
It's completely fair.
JD in Florida.
It's completely fair. I also kind of expect that overreaction in the playoffs.
I guess, we'll get to it, but I guess lower than it is. JD in Florida. If you're Tomlin, do you reconsider the year off from coaching, knowing that you get a top-tier quarterback finally in Buffalo? It's an interesting thought. He seems to be far gone, though. Could you imagine if he's like, I'm going back now. I got Josh Allen.
I don't think I'd be shocked by any of it. I mean, there's Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen don't have head coaches right now.
Yeah.
I would understand anybody racing for those jobs.
Sean McDermott's greatest talent was having Josh Allen.
Yes.
John Fitzgibbons, the Bills' loss was miserable. The rolling over pick, probably the right call, but oh boy. The throw it up for grabs, PI against them, but not for them when Cooks was grabbed in the end zone. Josh Allen sobbing, and now McDermott fired. Is Kelly Bidlin okay?
It was a long game. You know what, though? I think we're going to go through them all. The Riley Moss miss was bad. I don't know. The rest of these calls, it was kind of like, all right, I guess.
Michael Kerr, Ravens better get McDermott, he says. And D. Mark B. says Elway didn't win Super Bowls until the Broncos moved on from defensive head coach Dan Reeves to offensive guru Shanahan. Get Josh Allen, his guru, and let's go. By the way, I misspoke earlier. I seemed to give Kevin Stefanski credit for the defense when, of course, he was an offensive coach. All right, let's do it. Ready? Let's get some lines for the Championship Sunday. I did that old man style. Instead of saying Championship Sunday, I said for the Championship Sunday.
Hey, man, there you go. Conference Championship.
Del Boca Vista.
All right, you ready for the early one?
Yeah.
Noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, next Sunday. Patriots at the Broncos.
Patriots at the Broncos. Well. Patriots at the Broncos. So we get the appetizers, the AFC Championship, if you will. They're going to save the Rams and the Seahawks Part 3 for the grand finale. If you missed it yesterday, we'll do these. We'll give each of these time to breathe. The New England-Houston game, we'll start with that when talking about the Patriots. Houston, first time with the ball again. Wintry mix yesterday in Foxborough. First play, Stroud way behind Xavier Hutchinson on a dink pass. You're like, uh-oh. 2 plays later, Stroud to Kirk hits him right in the chest for a would-be first down. He drops it.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. New England, second possession then after that. 6 plays, 66 yards and 3:18. 4th and 1 at the Houston 28. May to DeMario Douglas, touchdown on 4th and 1 at the 28. 7-0 Patriots. Caleb Bullock actually tipped that ball a little bit. 7-0 Pats. Now Houston from their own 29. Stroud to Schultz for 42, the big chunk. They get to 3rd and goal at the 1, but illegal shift. An illegal shift wipes out a would-be touchdown. Fairbairn, they have to settle for a Fairbairn 25-yard field goal, 7-3 Patriots, 5:27 left in the first. Then New England with a 3-and-out because May was hit by Daniil Hunter on 3rd. He fumbled it, and Will Campbell recovered it after a loss of 20 back at the New England 3. This was the other thing that went down with the Patriots and the Texans yesterday. Can you recover a fumble, Texans? Good God. I think I speak for everybody about the Texans in that game. Anyway, Houston from the New England 47 on 2nd down. Stroud hit in the face, no call. Buck and Aikman, don't even mention it. Then after a great Higgins catch on 3rd, 4th and inches at the New England 38, Chubb for 2. Next play, though, 1st and 10 New England 36. Stroud, bad throw, picked by a diving Carlton Davis. Uh-oh. The uh-ohs are mounting. New England, second play, 2nd and 5 at their own 23. May for 4, hit by Tommy Togiai. Ball pops out, recovered by Togiai. Houston set up at the New England 27. 6 plays, Stroud to Christian Kirk from 10 out, a little behind him, no problem. Still catches it, 10-7 Texans. 12:51 left in the second quarter. Next time Houston had the ball, first play, 1st and 10 their own 25. Schultz is out now. Harrison Bryant's in. Milton Williams of the Patriots pushes Erante Ursary back. He trips Bryant. Bryant falls. Stroud under pressure from Caleb Von Jason throws it away, throws it anyway as he gets hit. What are you doing? Up for grabs. Marcus Jones, 26 yards of the house, 14-10 Patriots with 10:31 left in the second quarter. And it's at this point where I start thinking about all the times last week I said sarcastically about Stroud's performance against the Steelers. Wild card round, he can't play any worse than that, right?
Dude.
Question mark, comma, right? Houston, 2nd and 11 at their own 36. Stroud high to Hutchinson, deflects into the hands of Greg Woodson. Remember, New England's up 14-10 at this point. They're set up at the Houston 48, but they go nowhere after a 2nd down sack by Anderson, 3-and-out. Next time New England had the ball, they go 5 plays, 56 yards, 2 minutes and 48 seconds, made a booty for 25 and 18. Along the way to Diggs from 7 out. Great catch, 21-10 Patriots with 3:12 left in the second quarter. Then, after Stroud, there were so many picks he was lucky not to have also, by the way. 2-minute warning, though. 1st and 10, the New England 49. Stroud throws a lazy pass behind Xavier Hutchinson, picked by Carlton Davis again. But New England with a 3-and-out. The Houston defense single-handedly keeping the Texans in this game. If they weren't the Houston defense, this would have been a blowout already. Instead, New England from the Houston 45 with 36 seconds left in the quarter, but May immediately sacked by Anderson. He fumbles. Texans somehow can't come up with that one either. Will Campbell with another recovery. Hail Mary eventually picked by Jamarcus Ingram in the end zone. So 4 Houston turnovers to 2 for New England. Remember, New England could have had 4-2, but Will Campbell landed on the fumbles. Of those 4 turnovers and those 2 turnovers, it was really only 7-7 off the turnovers. Third quarter. Houston, on their first drive, squanders a timeout on offense inside the red zone. They have to settle for a Fairbairn 25-yard field goal on 4th and 2 at the 7. 21-13. Patriots, 9:52 left in the third quarter. New England, third play. May's arm whacked blindside by Anderson. Fumbles for the 4th time, only the 2nd loss, this time recovered by Azeez Al-Shaair. Houston says, watch this. 2nd and 8 at the New England 17. Mark stripped by Gonzalez. Craig Woodson recovers. Good God, what are we watching? Fairbairn would get it to 21-16 in the closing minutes of the third quarter. Now the wintry mix is full snow. Patriots go 71 yards. 3rd and 4th, the Houston 32. Made a booty. What a catch. One-handed in the end zone. 28-16 Patriots with 12:58 left. Houston has to expend another timeout on offense and a 3-and-out. And after Tommy Townsend's 72-yard punt that pins New England at the 4, Tremon Smith with a great save at the 2, scooping the ball backwards. But they couldn't get the New England offense off the field. They got 3 first down before they punt. And then Houston with only one timeout because they squandered those two earlier from their own 14, down 12 with 5:48 left. They punt it with 4:17 left, down 12, 4th and 18 at their own 21. White flag waving.
Yep.
What are you doing? They'd get it back one more time with 1:45 left. 4th and 4th, their own 47. Hutchinson open deep, underthrown by Stroud. What a fitting way to end the game. By the way, Mary Kay Cabot, Texans, she's a Cleveland reporter. Texans haven't been able to parlay their bounty from the Deshaun Watson trade with the Browns, 3 first-round picks, a net of 5 overall, into anything more than 3 wild-card victories. Cleveland inserting themselves. There you go.
Still nice to have that defense going forward, though.
We'll get to that Denver side of the equation next on A Numbers Game right here at VSiN.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big. We go all night. And here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
ProfitX, the number one place for college basketball player props. They offer all players in all schools in every state. ProfitX is available. As we get closer to March Madness, take advantage of ProfitX's 20% purchase match. Download ProfitX now and experience the future of winning. Use promo code VSiN to get started. We get tweets of beating the book. I'm going to just read a few of these because I got to get to the Bills game. Anthony Tritolo, I just wanted to say that Samo Bomb, Mike Samich, and Matt Brown did a great job both Saturday and Sunday on their show talking about each game.
I'm sure they did.
They're awesome, those two.
Those two are great.
They're awesome. Paul M. McDermott should have been gone a while ago. Just see a defensive guy who has a bad defense, but the GM not being able to draft or find a top-end wide receiver is baffling. We drafted Caden Prather, Keon Coleman, Justin Shorter, Shakir, Marquez Stevenson, and Isaiah Hodgins last 5 years.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
Sly Bry. Eagles fan. This is regarding Sirianni. 5 years, 5 playoff appearances, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl victory. There are about 27 teams who wish their coach was that awful. Yeah, Brian, I think most people give Howie Roseman the credit, though, for compiling that roster more than they do Sirianni, but it's a point. Wegspool for Houston. Don't you have to go with Mills at some point in the game? Stroud was broken in the first half. He played better in the second, but ball security is a premium in the playoffs. Wegspool, I will just say this. I was absolutely in that course at halftime. I was like, we just saw in the Pittsburgh game 4 quarters and the first 2 quarters of that game yesterday, we just saw 6 of the worst quarters of football you are ever likely to see.
Kid was broken. I'm shocked it carried over to a second game.
Oh, my God. That stage was way too big for him.
I was thinking the same thing at halftime. I guess what my thought was in the second half was, all right, C.J. Stroud, this is arguably for your job going forward.
Wow. You see that debate at halftime? Swag, Marcus Spears was on the get him out of there side, and Ryan Clark vociferously stumping that he needed to stay in the game. Oh, yes. Nemesis Enforcer, odds on King Chorus mention. Me and wifey play King Holiday Video every year. Big New Edition fans. Yeah, man, you know. If you know, you know. And the great Swami Gator. Wow, is this true? Yes, it is. Now with the Sean McDermott firing, Mike Vrabel, hired 372 days ago, is now the AFC East's longest tenured head coach. There you go. Let's do it. Ready? We did the New England part of this. New England's at Denver. The Michigas that was the Denver-Buffalo game. Denver starts from their own 26, 13 plays, 59 yards in 7 minutes and 31 seconds. They get to 4th and inches at the Buffalo 18. Nix for 4. Next play, Jaleel McLaughlin fumbled, nullified by an offside. 2 plays later, Lil Jordan Humphrey just straight drops a would-be touchdown pass from Nix. They have to settle for a Lutz field goal, 3-0 Broncos halfway through the first. Buffalo from their own 33, then 12 plays, 67 yards in 7:23. Cook for 24 to start, then for 10. Allen to Shakir for 11, 4th and 1 at the Denver 2. Allen for 1. 2 plays later, Allen to Hardman. Cole Hardman from 4 out. 7-3 Bills, 5 seconds left in the first quarter. 2 big drives the entire quarter, 1 from each team. 7-3 Buffalo Bills. By the way, Denver's next drive, Nix, remember that first play? He sort of fumbled the snap or recovered his own fumble, then threw an incomplete pass awkwardly, so it was a 3 and out. Could have been bad for the Broncos there. So Buffalo, next drive, second play, they're up 7-3. Allen upfield for 26, but the next play, 1st and 10, the Denver 32. Cook is stuck by Alex Singleton. Fumbles, recovered by Talanoa Ofanga. Denver from their own 31 now, still down 7-3. McLaughlin for 13 to start, 2 plays later. Harvey for 12, 2 plays after that. Nix to Mims for 27. And 2 after that, Nix for 11. Then on 3rd and 1, Nix to Frank Crum, tackle eligible from 7 out. 10-7 Broncos, 9:33 left in the second quarter. Buffalo from their own 17, Allen to Cooks for 15 on 3rd and 10 at the Denver 30, the big play. 3rd and 9 to 14, Coleman drops a pass in the end zone. Your guy, Kelly, Keon Coleman. Ugh. There was a holding anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But Denver declines the penalty as a result of the drop. They settle for a Prater 33-yard field goal. 10-10, 2:13 left in the quarter. Then Denver with 2:06 left from their own 30. 11 plays, 70 yards, and 151. Nix to Mims for 6 on 3rd and 3 at their own 27. 3 plays later, Nix for 6 on 3rd and 3. Then Nix to Mims for 15 on 3rd and 10 at the Buffalo 44. 2 plays later, with Darnell Savage in at safety, Nix rolls right. Savage overplays it to Humphrey from 29 out. 17-10 Broncos with 22 seconds left in the quarter. You're like, wow, what a dagger that is before the end of the half. Mm-hmm. Oh, there was another dagger coming. Buffalo 1st and 10 their own 30 with 16 seconds left. In this day and age in the NFL, you somehow decide to yourself, well, we can still score. 5 years ago?
Yeah, dude.
You never even try anything here.
A year ago. 5 years ago.
That's what
I would have been way more shocked a year ago at them not just taking a knee and going out.
Allen runs for 4 yards, but he's too casual with the ball, holds it with one hand. Benito hits his arm, fumbles, recovered by Devon Key. Set up for a Lutz 50-yard field goal. Good. 20-10 Broncos at the half. Those 3 points would end up being the difference.
Sure, that won't matter in the end.
Broncos scored 10 points the last 22 seconds of the first half. Oh, boy. Second half, third quarter. Buffalo, second play. Benito from behind. Strip sacks Allen. Recovered by Malcolm Roach. Denver set up at the Buffalo 17, but a 3-and-out. Lutz, 33-yard field goal. They had to settle for that. 23-10 Broncos, 11:35 left in the third quarter. Then Buffalo goes 9 plays, 73 yards. Allen to Kincaid for 25, the big chunk. On the second play, 7 plays later, Allen to Coleman from 10 out. He dives into the end zone, redeems himself. 23-17 Broncos now with 6:49 left in the third. Then Denver, third play, 3rd and 5 at their own 40. Nix throws it right to Deion Walker of the Bills, who drop back into coverage. Buffalo set up at the Denver 36. Second play, 2nd and 14 at the Denver 40. Allen picked deep by P.J. Locke, who returns at 30 yards. Denver decides then to eschew, Kelly, the 58-yard field goal try and punt to the football at that point. And we're going to the fourth quarter. And Tony Romo says to Jim Nantz out loud, "Ooh, here we go, Jim." Second play, fourth quarter, 2nd and 10, their own 38. Allen to Shakir for 46, mostly yak. Or as Romo and Nantz refuse to say yak, they always say rack. 3 plays later, 3rd and 8 at the Denver 14. Allen to Kincaid, touchdown. Great pass and catch. The Buffalo Bills lead it 24-23 with 13:24 left. Then after a Denver 3-and-out, Buffalo from their own 20 with 11:50 left. They get it to 1st and 10, the Denver 14, but Denver holds on defense, and Buffalo settles for a Prater 31-yard field goal, 27-23 with 4:11 left. Oh, the drama. Denver from their own 27 with 4:06 left and all 3 of their timeouts. Fourth play, 3rd and 11 at their own 37. Buffalo doesn't send any pressure, so Nix eats them up to Sutton for 25, to the Buffalo 38, to the 2-minute warning. So Denver now at this point has to be thinking to themselves, how do we go 38 yards in as much of the 2 minutes left as possible? Right. So Josh Allen doesn't have a chance here. 3 plays later, Nix for 6 on 3rd and 4. Romo says he's almost positive it's 4-down territory. I'm almost positive it's 4-down territory, Jim. Really? Now, Denver's got to figure out how do we go 26 yards and as close to the remaining 101 as possible. They're not thinking that. Nix to Mims for 26, touchdown, Broncos 30-27, 55 seconds left. So Buffalo from their own 27 with all 3 timeouts, 50 seconds left, needing a field goal to tie. First play, Allen flips it underhand to Kincaid for 9, timeout. Then incomplete, then offside, first down, own 41 with 37 seconds left. Incomplete, 32 seconds left. Second down, hook and lateral, or colloquially, hook and ladder. Never fails. Allen to Shakir for 3, flips to Ray Allen for 24 more. They're in field goal range at the Denver 32 with 24 seconds left. Buffalo timeout. Allen takes a shot in the end zone, incomplete after Cook slows up. Second down with 19 seconds left, incomplete. Third down with 16 seconds left, overthrows Knox, who might have scored, but definitely would have been giving them a chip shot field goal try. Prater has to kick a 50-yarder to tie it. Boom. Right down the pipe. What a player he's been in these playoffs.
We were worried about him.
We were worried about him because he had the quad injury. 30-30, we're going to overtime. Now, at this point, the broadcast asked Gene Steratore to explain the overtime rules. He couldn't have done a worse job with it. Gene Steratore says, "Hey, fellas, we're just playing a new game. Only thing that changes here, guys, that replays come from upstairs." No, Gene, it's not that way. Both teams get a possession, and if we're tied, we continue play. Everyone agrees then on the broadcast that kicking is the right thing to do. None of them mention that there is a case to be made for having the possession third as well. Mm-hmm. Drives me crazy.
As we've been talking about all season long.
Oh, God. Denver ends up punting on 4 plays. Buffalo needs just a field goal now. Now it is sudden death, right? Need a field goal to win. From their own 7, they convert 3rd and 5 at their own 12. Allen to Kincaid for 13. Then 3rd and 7 at their own 28. Allen to Davis for 9. But 3rd and 10 at their own 36. A play that will live in infamy. Allen deep to Cooks. It looks like it's going to be what amounts to a game-winning catch because they'll be in field goal range. But somehow, Jaquan McMillan comes down with it after they roll over. It's ruled a pick. Carl Sheffers, official after the game. The receiver has to complete the process of a catch. He was going to the ground as part of the process of the catch, and he lost possession of the ball when he hit the ground. The defender gained possession of it at that point. The defender was the one who completed the process of the catch, so the defender was awarded the ball. Denver from their own 20. Next score wins. Second play, 2nd and 7 at their own 23. Knicks to Harvey for 24, mostly yak. 2 snaps later, PI. Next snap, 1st and 10 at the Buffalo 36. Knicks runs for a 2-yard loss, a nondescript play to everyone watching, but apparently the play that might color the bottom line of the season. Apparently he fractured his ankle on it. Snap after, PI on Tre'Davious White down to the 8. 1 kneel down. White spikes his helmet, unsportsmanlike, half the distance. Lutz, 24-yard field goal, ball game. 33 to 30 Broncos in a instant classic. And Bills fans not going to be happy about it. Jim Nantz after the game. Nick somehow finds a way, ignoring Buffalo's 5 turnovers. Josh Allen, falls to 0-7 in his career in overtime games.
Oof.
And then an hour after the game or so, Adam Schefter tweets that Bo Nix suffered a season-ending broken bone in his ankle during overtime. You talk about highs and then lows for Broncos fans. My goodness.
Yeah.
I'll guess this one. I'll tell you what I guessed and what it is next.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Join the guru, John Hansen, at the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports on Prop Points, only on VSiN.
You know what? I'm going to blame Andy Reid for cronyism because Matt Nagy stinks. A guy like Jefferson, you got to be a part of the solution, not part of the problem, and he's been part of the problem.
John and his guests will help you find the connection between the two and give you his expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points, weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on the numbers game, Gil and Kelly from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Tom Pelissero clarifying the Buffalo Bills situation after Sean McDermott's firing this morning. Terry Pegula, the owner of the Bills, and also, by the way, the father of one of the top 5 women's tennis players in the world.
Who? No way.
Announces not only is Sean McDermott out as head coach, but Brandon Beane has been promoted to president of football operations /GM and will oversee the coaching staff, a new vertical reporting structure. There you go.
Well, they made that part really clear. For those of us asking about Beane and why he's still there, they're going to stand by him there, Gil. I've got this from Ben Solak. How about since drafting Josh Allen in 2018, the Bills have drafted 56 players. 56. 2 of them have made Pro Bowls.
That's brutal.
James Cook and Dawson Knox.
That is brutal.
Yeah. I mean, look, we could talk about this game.
What about since you gave a parameter.
Since Josh Allen, yeah, since Josh Allen. I'm kind of surprised Dalton Kincaid still hasn't made it. I know he's only been in the league a couple years, but still. Man, there's a lot we could talk about with that game. There is Josh Allen. I'm not gonna sit here and not give you any blame today. There's a lot of bad turnovers there.
He knew it.
I've been defending you all year where you got a really bad roster to deal with, and that was very evident in that game yesterday. But man, you turned the ball over at bad times too.
He's a human being.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, again, here's the Josh Allen history. I just mentioned 0-7 career in overtime, 0-3 in the playoffs. Here's his playoff history, or every season's history, including 2018 when they missed the playoffs. Lost wild card round, lost AFC title game at Kansas City. Lost divisional round at Kansas City, lost divisional round versus Cincy, lost divisional round versus Kansas City, lost AFC title game at Kansas City. So that's all Mahomes and one Burrow in there. And I guess there's a Houston one at the very beginning of that. And then yesterday. So that was the year, right? That was the Jordan is playing baseball, Akeem Olajuwon year, was this year for him.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work out.
Look, I still think it's their worst roster they've had in a couple years.
Yes.
Around him. But man, the opportunity was there. I mean, we said it all last week. They're relying on him to be Superman, and he's got to go out there and do it every single time. And like you just said, he's a human being at the end of the day. He's not.
Starkey fan on Twitter. Are you surprised the Bears didn't go for 2 with 18 seconds to go last night? Home dog, likely less than 50% to win in overtime. 3 of 5 on 2s this year. Coach with penchant for aggressiveness. I was thinking about it the whole way through. Didn't think they were a score. Obviously they did, which we'll get to. I thought it was 50-50 that I just didn't know. I didn't know if he would have the stones to do it.
Okay, so I've heard a lot of people say it this way, and I'm about to say it the exact same way. I totally thought he was going to go for 2. I think a lot of us were thinking the entire last drive, what happens right here, right, if they score. Yes. I totally thought he was going to. Did I think he should? I thought it was more 50-50.
It's like
and then hearing him after the game.
I'll say the same thing I said about Sean McDermott last week when people were like killing him for not kneeling and milking the clock. People underestimate the human brain element of this, which is if this doesn't work, if Sean McDermott kneels it out, somehow they get a false start or a holding penalty or whatever, and they don't end up scoring the touchdown last week against Jacksonville, the downside of that from a human perspective, it will sit with you for the rest of time.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben Johnson might have had a little inkling of that yesterday when he thought about, if we don't get this I'm going to have to live with this.
So that's what I was kind of thinking about in the moment. Listen to him.
I'm not saying it's right in either case. I'm saying that's why I think the decisions were made.
I know. And that's what I was thinking too when it happened during the game. Listening to him after the game, though, I just believe him because he was basically like, look, we didn't have a play for that. Like you saw, and I didn't have much faith in what we saw in the last play. I think that's pretty true.
Kevin Ryan, Gil, how is it the fault of the head coach? Talking about Sean McDermott here. When his team turns the ball over 5 times and still has a chance to win the game. I think it all goes back to the Chiefs' loss, he says, when he should have instructed his kicker to not kick the ball in the end zone. Spence, bet a nickel. Musetti up to plus 850 to win his quarter, riding with the best tennis handicapper in the game on this one. Well, thank you. That's very nice of you. Yesterday, what happened in my Australian Open betting. Have you ever had this in betting? This is a truism for me. They used to say this in baseball. When I win a game I'm not supposed to, like I get lucky, I know it's like, oh, man, I'm about to have 2 weeks of awesomeness.
Oh, yeah.
But if I lose or don't get paid on something, it's like, oh, no, the rest of this evening is going to be a crap show. So the Australian Open was going great match by match, and then yesterday I had Priscilla Hahn, Australian cutie pie playing. She's up 5-3 in the third, and her opponent gets carted off. so we don't get paid on it. And I knew at that point, I'm like, oh, the rest of this night is going to suck. And sure enough, we had Marcus Giron. It was up 2-1 and up a break in the fourth, 4-3. He gacked it. Two other players who were up a set, they gacked it. I was like, it's all because of the Hahn thing.
That's awful.
That is
you and I were talking about it earlier in the season with the NBA. Because I had one of those. It's like I got really lucky on the ending of one game. It set up like the next 4 or 5 wins.
Steve the Proxy. Understated is that McDermott ended a 17-year drought in Buffalo before Allen. He's a culture builder. He made mistakes, didn't get over the hump, but Bean poorly managed the roster after the Allen second contract. Both should go, but McDermott deserves another job. Kind of what you were saying earlier.
I mean, I think there's that about him and Tomlin, right? Like we could say everything we want about him, but look at what happened before McDermott got there. It is a long stretch of nothingness there in Buffalo.
You just brought up Tomlin. We said this off air. D'Amico with the wave the white flag punt this week. Tomlin with the wave the white flag punt last week.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, don't get me wrong. Both situations, thought the game was completely over, but man, it's tough to see that in a playoff game.
And in both cases, the only justification for both is we're so bad on offense that it's actually a better chance for us to win with some turnover that our defense generates. JD in Florida, up at 5 a.m. this morning to watch Joker and a great 5-setter on the men's side. I think he's probably talking about Poprin winning. Hardcore tennis to start the year is great. It is great. But, dude, I got to go to sleep. I was watching Egan at 2:45 last night. What am I doing? Tim Bowers. I've always thought never bets lists were silly, but Houston, CJ, and D'Amico got me repeating, I do declare I'm not betting Houston next year versus good defenses. CJ being bad is covering up D'Amico's game management skills more than it should. So what happened to CJ Stroud? He's so bad in these games.
It's tough. A little tough to watch, honestly.
Jayhawk0822. With Xavier Lucas out the first half, does Miami, we'll talk about the Natty tonight, which we'll talk with Wes Reynolds about here momentarily. Does Miami look to receive the ball first to limit the number of plays Indiana has without him? Indiana defers anywhere we can bet Miami gets ball first or just take them first quarter. Yeah, that's how you would bet that kind of thing. If you are in any football game, if you have reason to believe based on team tendencies or what you think is going to be a team strategy to think it is more likely that one team will get the ball than the other, first quarter bets are usually the way to go. Ben Handorf. With Coleridge Stroud Jr. eligible for an extension this offseason, is it time to lock in with the kid or roll the dice on another option? As you've pontificated before, these teams are in tough, but do they handcuff themselves with a big contract on a shaky quarterback? Man, after seeing this, I do not know that you can. I really don't.
I think it's part of the only explanation of why he's out there in the second half is we got to know what we have with this guy going forward if we're going to offer him.
That's kind of what Ryan Clark was saying.
Yeah,
he was better in the second half, but not much. Jack Olaquire. Gil, if the rollover interception, I'm glad it's coming up. Gil, if the rollover interception is allowed in the Buffalo game, then it has to be allowed in the Bears game. Same exact plan. The team on the short end of those calls lose both game-changing calls. Somehow the NFL has to figure it out. Jack, I respectfully disagree. They are not the same play. And I want everybody, it's amazing to me how everybody, people are so emotional and wrapped up in their bets maybe or their fanhood. Those two plays are different. I know you want to make the NFL out to be this inconsistent thing, but those two plays are different. In the case of the Cooks play, he has not made the catch yet. He's going to the ground, and as Carl Sheffer said, the defender completed the catch, if you will. So the people who say, wait a minute, Cooks has the ball, his knee is down, the play should end there. No, because he hasn't completed the catch yet. It's not his possession. That's why it was ruled how it was ruled. Denver got the football. In the case of Davante Adams made a catch, made a football move, then went to the ground on the rollover. He was ruled to have made the catch already, then have a knee down by contact. They are not the same play. Hope everybody understands that. Lance Schaefer, Texans would have been closer to winning if they just handed the ball off all game. The D got them the ball in field goal range a few times. Stroud gave them 7 points on a pick six. They may not have won, but it would have been real close. Lance, you're 100% right. We actually said that out loud during the game. If the Texans just ran the ball into the line a few times, it might be better. They might be better off. And that said, how amazing is this Texans D? Because with all those turnovers,
that's wild. All
5 of them, New England only scored 7 points off them on that pick six.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I kept, for the while it was 21-16, right? God, I was sitting there saying to myself, how the hell is this a one-score game, right?
It's amazing.
The Texans are a touchdown away from winning this football game.
Super Jerk has chimed in. I've never seen a playoff quarterback miss as bad as this kid yesterday. Talking about Stroud. He was so bad he got his wide receiver hurt. I would have yanked him at halftime. Let the chips fall where they may for next year's quarterback. Boudin boy, tough find in Alabama, but finally picked one up. We'll open it up for New Year's Eve this year. Thanks for the recommendation. He's talking about a bottle of wine that Drew recommended on the Australian Open podcast. And Neil Hanlon, or maybe on a numbers game, was where he recommended that one. Neil Hanlon, hey guys, awesome show. Kelly looking great, man. If the Patriots win the Super Bowl, where does this put Drake May in terms of top quarterbacks in the NFL? Oh, he'd be up there. He's already up there, right? But that would catapult him into a different kind of stratosphere for sure. Even I would have to admit that. We'll come back. We'll continue because we got another game or two to get to. And then college football.